How quickly can you accumulate 4,000 XRP? Now, this is a continuation from a previous video stating 4,000 XRP is the new zero point 0.1 Bitcoin. A realistic yet powerful target is 1 Bitcoin is out of reach for most, and so is the XRP equivalent. And today we're going to run through different dollar cost average strategies, whether you're investing with $100, $50, or $250 per week. Because the reality is, most people will not hit this goal, not because they can't afford it, but because they lack the consistency and patience to do so. So if you hold XRP or just enjoy watching the XRP videos, be sure to leave a like down below. And with that said, let's get straight into the video. Okay, so a quick reminder for every video that we make that this is not financial advice and for entertainment purposes only. Nothing in cryptocurrency is guaranteed and you could lose all of your money. Stay safe and do your own research. Now, we do this once a week. A quick reminder, a promotion on the channel, the Decent Hardware Cold Wallet. I want to share 3 important reasons to me when I first bought this wallet on my own accord many years ago and why I believe you should have this wallet as well. The first reason is the coins that are supported. So coins outside of XRP, for example, within the XDC ecosystem, the XRC20 tokens, they are listed on Decent. The Trustline tokens are listed on Decent. There is 3,000 plus coins available. And seriously, what is the point of purchasing a cold wallet for $100, $200 if not all the coins in your portfolio are supported? Second reason is ease of use. Very similar to an old generation iPod, OLED display, 4 buttons, and biometric authentication. It does not get much simpler than that. And the third reason is there's been no hacks or compromises as stated here, no backdoor access unlike other cold wallets on the market. So if you want discounts, check links down below in the description. Moving on to the video. So the fastest way to accumulate 4,000 XRP, the time frame for accumulating 4,000 XRP. This is important because it's going to be different for everyone. Everyone has different weekly amounts they can invest into the market, and more specifically XRP. So we went with 50, 100, and $250. Now I understand people will have $10 to invest every week, and some will have 1,000. But I'm going for the average, what most people would have. We're also going to assume you do not miss a single week, and that is the tough part for investors. And the investment period starts today. Now, how do we calculate the price of XRP that we're going to be dollar cost averaging into for today, tomorrow, next year, the year after? Well, I'm going to base it off the Bitwise investment case for XRP because I think it's pretty fair. Because here we can see a bear, bull, and max case. So first, the bear case, 2025 is $1.82 for XRP, 2026 is $1.07, and 2027 is 63 cents. So here we can see for the weekly DCA bearish model. So the target is 4,000 XRP, $50 per week. We can see the actual amount of XRP you are buying year on year. Although it's bad for price, it's good for accumulation and target goals of XRP. 97 weeks that would take. So the fact you have to wait until 2027 proves that owning 4,000 XRP currently is a big deal. And the fact that most people, even if they can't afford that, they will not commit to that. That's if you invest every single week. Don't miss a single week. You still have to wait until 2027. The good thing is if the 4-year cycle is still intact, you're still there before the peak in the actual market. Moving on to $100 a week, the same format. The amount of XRP growing year on year as the price decreases. We can see March 2026. And again, this is quite surprising. $250, you would have it by August 2025. So investing $250 per week, 2026 and 2027 doesn't even matter. You're getting it in 2025. With 100, you're getting it in 2026. And with 50, you're getting it in 2027. Not too long when you consider a bear market approach. You do not care about the price. You simply buy and forget. Now moving on to the bull, and this is where things get a little bit crazy. So for 2025, $3.90. 2026, $4.94, and 2027, $6.25. So for the $50 weekly DCA, we can see you have to wait until January 2024. And I've actually stopped at 2027 price peak. I haven't continued the 2028, 2029, 2030, or it would go even further. And this proves what we've been talking about when it comes to the riches, the barrier to entry increasing in USD value. Because when it takes that long, you're as well lowering your amount to the target of 1000 XRP. Because by the time those price points are hit, to enter the rich list, you would need 1000 XRP. Heck, maybe even 500 XRP to enter the rich list, because most people sell their holdings as time goes on. And again, it refers to the Bitcoin idea. I know a lot of people don't like Bitcoin who are XRP holders or XRP maximalists, but the goal was back in the day, reach 100 Bitcoin. Then it turned into 10 Bitcoin, 5, 1. Now the goal I'm hearing all over my For You page is 0.1 Bitcoin. In years to come, people will say 0.01 Bitcoin, and that's equivalent to 500 XRP. And moving on to the $100 weekly DCA model, you would reach that in May 2029. Again, that's quite a stretch. You'd be as well lowering your target to 2000 or 1000 XRP. And finally, $250. You'd reach that in June 2026. That is more realistic. Now moving on to the max case. We can see the numbers are a lot higher throughout the years, and there's no point including $50 or $100 per week, because that would go well into 2030 and beyond. So $250 per week at the max model. You can see that will be reached in November 2026. Now, the only thing I don't like about this chart is the fact that it assumes in a bear case it's down only, and in a bull case it's up only. That is never the case at all. The chart never goes straight down. You see bumps along the way. But just look at Bitcoin Cash, for example. This is a bear case cryptocurrency. Every single cycle, the rewards diminish. But you can see from the bear market to that little peak, there was a 2, 3, 4x in play. So I believe we are going to see bull years and bear years, where $250 weekly will allow you to reach a target of 4,000 XRP within a year. $100 weekly, you will get that at some point in 2026, and $50 weekly some point in 2027. So unless you have $250 or more to invest every single week, it's going to take time, consistency, and patience. But with a plan, you can easily get there. Now, why would you even want to own 4,000 XRP in the first place? Well, here's a few points to reinforce that idea. Here we have Ripple acquiring Hidden Road for $1.25 billion, and David Schwartz, the CTO at Ripple, stating this is significant for XRP and the XRP ledger. So the prime broker clears 10 billion and 50 million transactions a day. And imagine a portion of that activity on the XRP ledger. And it really proves everyone wrong who thought with the introduction of RLUSD that XRP was being pushed aside. Quite the opposite is happening. And that 10 billion figure there is actually daily, right? They clear 3 trillion annually with 300 top institutional customers. So these aren't retail traders, they're hedge funds, market makers who need XRP. So this is not a partnership, it's an acquisition. And now we have more use cases for XRP cross-border settlement in RLUSD, hedging and liquidity management. We also have the first ever US listed ETF focused on XRP. And this ETF is designed to give investors twice a daily return of XRP through leverage exposure. So it's not a spot ETF. But for this, which many people never even heard of till today, to get 5 million in terms of volume in the first day, imagine what's actually going to come for the real spot XRP ETF. And many people underestimate the volume XRP is going to receive for the ETFs, and they overestimate the volume for Ethereum. And look what's happening to the price. They're heading in opposite directions. The flippening is closer than ever. But that's going to be pretty much it for today's video. The bottom line is whether you're investing $50, $100, or $250 weekly, 4,000 XRP is possible. It's not about timing the market, it's about consistency. And you can get there, but most people can't reach it because they quit too early. So if you made this far in the video, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.